I'm Josh from 2 Lane Life. I'm from Ventura County, California, and this is my 2021 Road King Special. So I initially picked one of these up, 2021, same exact bike from the local Harley dealership. It got stolen a couple months ago. That was a whole mess. Eventually built it back kind of to how it was with a few key differences. So first thing I had to do on this bike was the 9.5-inch Thrashin pullback risers and high bend bars. This bike comes with these kind of little mini apes. They're too low, they're a little too wide, and it's just not a comfortable riding position. To go along with that, I got the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing with a 17-inch windshield. We cover hundreds of thousands of miles all over the country, sometimes 800 to 1,000 mile days, and getting some wind protection definitely helps. After that, went down to the foot controls. Those floorboards are mushy. There's no solid feeling on the feet. For me, I have some hardware in my right ankle and can't move it up very high. So I went ahead and did the short bagger brake arm. I keep it in the lowest position, and I have a P54 slim foot peg on there just to have a nice solid feel. Over here on the left side, I did the bagger linkage in black. I also have the Apex floorboards. Great grip, super solid, really good size compared to the bagger floorboards, the original ones. I also have the Shorty Shifter with a black shift tip. No more messing up the shoe, and that Shorty Shifter is right where it needs to be. I have P54 pegs on the rear. Don't always have a passenger, but it's nice to kind of get the feet up there on longer rides, longer days, relax a little bit. And if you do have a passenger, boom, ready to go. Some other stuff when it comes to comfort. In the front, I did the Legend Suspension Axio drop-in cartridges. Insane difference. No more, rocking along the road. Really comfortable, smooth ride. Really solid in the canyons. In the rear, I did the 13-inch Revo Arc remote reservoirs. It's got all sorts of adjustments, and you can just dial in your ride exactly how you want it to go. So even though this is a bagger, it's always nice to have a little bit of extra storage. So I have the Thrashin Supply Handlebar Bag Plus. I've got some Allens in there, I've got some tools, you can keep an extra set of gloves, got some glasses. Another thing on the long haul while we're filming on the 2-lane trips, can put a GoPro in there, anything that might be in my hand while riding. I can drop it in there at a moment's notice and get my hands back on the bars. So having that little bit of extra storage is great, and having it tucked behind the fairing looks good, gets the job done. So another thing I added on the front end was the Clockwork Slicer fender, paint matched Deadwood green to match the bike, just like I did to the fairing. Little known fact, these are actually 14 gauge steel, unlike the very thin steel on the stock fenders on the baggers. So with torsional rigidity, it actually acts as a fork brace, 2-in-1. So for higher speeds, kind of long drawn out turns, it adds much needed stability to the bike that the suspension might not have taken care of. I have Custom Dynamics LED drop-in ring lights. It really lights it up, on a touring bike like this with only a single headlight. Those LED drop-ins definitely get the job done. Same thing on the rear. Another thing when it came to comfort, I went with the Saddlemen Ls Seat. Typically I run their step-up tuck and roll seat. It's got some nice little cushions on there. I get the gripper material so it can keep you locked in the corners and the canyons. As I said before, my bike was stolen, and I'm working on getting a replacement for that sucker. Another thing that kind of goes along with comfort, I've had plenty of built bikes. I've had FXRs, Stage 4 Softails, and it's great. You get that nice long grunt on the long haul and in the canyons alike. But as I've come to learn, putting down a good 60,000 miles last year, it's kind of nice having a relatively stock bike. It's reliable. It's not too loud in the ear when you're on the bike, sometimes 14, 16 hours in a day. So with the 114 Milwaukee 8 on this bike, I kept it stock. I kept the stock headers, and all I did was put a Cobra 909 uppercut slip-on system. Sounds great. It's got a nice rumble. You get a little bit of extra kick out of it, and at least people know you're there. Like all projects and all machines, it's still got a long way to go, and if you want to see what happens, stay tuned. Check out 2 Lane Life on YouTube. See you down the road.